Miss Vodyanitsa, prima donna of the Korolievsky troupe. What a surprise meeting you here. Will you be sitting in on a session of the Vetcha?
Sorry, I'm not taking interviews today. Oh good, you're here. The session's about to begin. Let's get inside.
Please wait, Miss Vodyanitsa. Could you introduce me to your new friend?
In summary, the energy management commitments made for the outgoing period have been delivered upon. Furthermore, both the production and consumption of Kresnik Crystal show clear signs of stabilizing. The relevant agencies have assessed the present circumstances and determined that the status quo can be sustained until the next period. For detailed statistics, I would refer you to It should also be noted that while the recent blizzards have led to a significant increase in people's energy expenses, this is strictly a short-term phenomenon associated with a remotely located... Her Majesty the Tsaritsa is giving her full attention to this matter. We should have every confidence that it will be dealt with swiftly and conclusively. A financial report on disaster relief is also present in this report, courtesy of Pantalone.
They cover the same old ground every single time. The rooster never seems to mind, but everyone else is getting tired of it. There's a general lack of trust. People aren't seeing any tangible benefits that affect them directly. Of course, none of that will be reflected in any of the reports on the table.
Yeah, if it weren't for these hard copy documents, I could have at least made something up. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just out here trying to hit my interview quotas. Bring out the kvass. Ever read it? Best-selling newspaper in town.
If I remember correctly, you guys don't even have a sales permit. You have to sell from stalls on the street.
Okay then, best-selling street stall newspaper in town. Still counts.
Order! We will now open the floor to the representatives. If there are no further substantive issues to discuss,
Snezhnaya has a long tradition of treating members of the Fatui armed forces and their dependents favorably. But recent surveys shows that Fatui families in remote areas have access to 15% less crystal than the average civilian family in Snezhnograd. It's been said many times before, but it bears repeating now. There needs to be a clear and consistent rationale behind how crystal is allocated, or we will soon face immense public backlash.
Perhaps you wouldn't need to keep repeating yourself if you would hear me out for once. I say again, true consistency exists only in principle. In the real world, fairness is relative. You appear to treat resource allocation as a simple function of production and population. So what about when the equipment used in production breaks down? Have you factored that into your equation? And do you even know how long it's been since Snezhnaya last conducted a census?
If I knew the answers to questions like that, I'm sure I'd be a very wealthy man. And I doubt I'd be going by child. I'd like to bring the focus back to the specific issue I raised. Or do you wish to deny that favorable treatment for Fatui dependents is our long-standing policy?
It's easy to be a critic when there's no accountability. That seems to be a running theme in the anti-Project Stuja cohort. Defeat the ringleader and all other problems will magically resolve themselves. That's what they seem to think. But in case you aren't aware, not one jot in my report would change whether Project Stuja continues or not.
So you have no intention whatsoever of finding a solution to this problem?
On the contrary, I'm the only one here who ever brings solution.
Child opened by speaking up for the armed forces. Regraders struck back with style and a war of words ensued. Our reporter was live on the scene to get the audience's reaction as it all unfolded. Who do you support? The people have spoken! Regrader delivered a deft rebuttal to Child, as we've seen so many times before.
Now you see why they don't have a sales permit.
However this reporter wants to spin things, I haven't forgotten that Tartaglia was representing the Northland Bank when we first met in Liyue. So, surely their relationship can't always have been this strained.
You two are getting off topic. Let's focus on what the data is saying.
Mr. Pantalone, may I speak on your behalf?
Oh, please do. I'm more than happy to save my breath.
Crystal distribution policy undergoes modifications with each new period. The ultimate goal being to find the most reasonable method of allocation, which I believe is what Mr. Tartaglia also seeks. But I fear many may have been misled on this topic by extremist activists. To clarify, Project Stuja is not the root cause of the problem. It is merely a framework for resource distribution. The most recent reports all point to Snezhnaya's resilience and adaptability during this period of fine-tuning, and give clear indications that a distribution framework is improving with each iteration. To make drastic adjustments without first considering the risks would likely do more harm than good. It would be a waste of the hard-won experience we've gained to date.
Renowned scholar of finance, Arapov spoke up to clarify the fiscal logic, clearly alluding to social organizations like the Rokot in his words. With the notorious Lelex still active to this day, should the Rokot be held responsible? No, there is someone else to blame.
She's just rephrasing what Mr. Pantalone said. The Rokot are the critics he accuses of taking no responsibility for their actions. As for Lilik, you won't have heard of him yet. He's currently the most famous member of the Rokot. Well, more like infamous. Ending Project Stuja has become an obsession for him. Unlike the more decent ones among us, he believes that votes in the Vetcha are all that matter. So whether it's threats, coercion, or bribery, he'll use whatever means necessary to get people to change their vote.
And since we're already on the subject, what do you think of Lelek's methods? Are you for or against? Well, whatever the story is, his actions benefit us all. We stand with Lelek.
At least someone here wants to take this discussion seriously. I've been considering that issue myself. What you really need is more precise regional data, right? I think it would be easiest to let the Fatui handle it, since they're already in charge of Crystal shipments anyway. We may as well get them to collect some data while they're at it. Whatever you need, you can ask the Fatui to look into it for you. In terms of supervision, I think the Druzhna would be a good fit. I had hoped to discuss this with Miss Vesna, but sadly, she's not present.
I will be happy to take a note of your suggestions and present them to Commander Vesna for a decision upon her return. The Commander has always taken a keen interest in Project Stuja. However, given the Druzhna's demanding workload, I'm afraid it may prove difficult for them to provide any practical support.
Let us refrain from jumping to conclusions until a concrete and actionable plan is in place.
My apologies, Lord Rooster.
There are numerous issues to address here, including manpower, time sensitivity, and reporting lines. Nevertheless, I support drafting a proposal. Follow the usual procedure, and it can be raised as a new motion for all parties to evaluate at the appropriate time.
In that case, I'd like to share one thought before the proposal is drafted. The issue of time sensitivity was raised just now, which I presume relates to the official reports. In fact, the Energy Commission already collects regular statistics on each urban center and its surrounding area. Would these be of any use?
That's a good idea. I read every issue of Svietloslaidovka's report, and although my focus is mostly on the section about equipment operation, the energy consumption statistics also yield a lot of insights.
Be that as it may, does no one see an issue with using local data to determine Crystal quotas? In the long term, it seems like a very risky solution.
Not if they are used purely for reference. So long as we have the report from the Northland Bank's headquarters to corroborate it, no one will be able to fool me.
Very well then. It appears that this arrangement is acceptable to all parties.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
The members reached a provisional consensus on the issue of improving treatment for Fatui soldiers. Today, the prima donna of the Korailievsky troupe attended a session of the Snezhnograd Vecha in the company of a most...
Write anything like that again, and I'm revoking your permission to interview the troupe. Got it?
Now then, if there are no further contributions from those present, we shall proceed to the final vote.
Hey, check it out! What made him vote against? Why now?
The votes have been tallied. Those in favor of continuing Project Stuja total 61%.
That was too close. The margin has shrunk yet again. Chuganov was a huge loss.
I'll bet Lelik is behind this. I wonder how Pulcinella will respond this time.
Chuganov. I see. Lelik strikes again.
Yes, go, Lelik. Once Project Stuja is defeated, our unwavering support at Bring Out the Kvass will finally pay off when we make...
In accordance with the result of this vote, Project Stuja will remain in effect until the next Vecha period. We debate only for the greater glory and solidarity of our nation. May the aurora shine ever on, and the tundra. The session is concluded.
Take a break? How tiresome. Pick up the pace. Come on, keep up.
I have to say, I really wasn't expecting Chulkanov to vote against Project Stusha. Well, in principle, Snezhnaya's business and political elites ought to be the ones least likely to oppose it. As we heard, Project Stusha is basically just a resource distribution framework that requires everyone to cut back during the winter. But even if the policy got cancelled, the Tsaritsa's energy needs wouldn't suddenly go down. The extra demand from the public would have to be filled from somewhere. So logically, the factories would have to take the hit. I got a letter from Mr. Mitya just before today's session. He said he's confirmed that there are issues around overtime and excessive energy consumption at the Iskra manufacturing plant. In a situation like this, once the Rooster receives the report, he'll order the factory to halt production and submit to an investigation before issuing a penalty. But that's a week-long process, and thus didn't make it onto the Vetcha agenda this time. I don't think he suspects anything so far. Exactly. And as you know, he's a very selfish person. I was originally gonna try and flip him after he received notice of the official sanctions. My plan was to convince him that the whole thing was completely unfair. Rather than just sit back and take the hit while his factory stopped production, he'd be better off voting to end Project Stusha. At least that way, no one else would be able to make any money either, because all the factories, but now, he's already voted against it. Which means someone must have used more forceful means to change his vote. Just like with everyone else who flipped. Yeah, no one knows why Lilac is so obsessed with ending Project Stusha. But by the looks of it, he's inching closer and closer to success.
Lelek must have strong motivations, given how he'll stop at nothing to achieve his goal. Maybe he knows the full truth of Project Stusha. Maybe my next step should be to focus on him.
All right. What are your plans for the rest of the day? Shall we head out?
Hey, comrade. I noticed you were here during the debate.
I didn't take you for a political enthusiast.
Greetings, Harbingers. I just happened to have some free time today, and my new friend here thought it might be fun to check out the Vetcha.
Ah, Odette must have introduced you. Looks like you two are getting along pretty well.
I'll leave you to catch up. I should head back to the troop.
Sure. Break a leg and all. Thought it might be fun to check out the Vetcha, did you? Things are never that simple with you, Traveler. There's no way you're here for kicks and giggles. Tell me.
Oh, yeah. To some, he's a captivating enigma. To others, he's the bane of their existence. No one ever thought that some anonymous nobody from the Rokot could cause such a stir. Huh? You want to look into Lelik? Then I'm sure his days of anonymity are numbered. What do you think, Sandrone?
Fine by me, I guess. If the Traveler actually manages to expose Lelik, it'll be doing Pulcinella a favor. In return, it seems fair to let her in on what we've learned so far.
My thoughts exactly. Sharing is caring, after all. Head back to Glupov and grab the files on Lelik. It's easier to just pull the records than go through the rigmarole of getting the Traveler a visitor's permit.
As you command, child, sir.
In that case, since we're going to be waiting anyway, I'll have someone brew a pot of black tea.
One common thread among the many incidents Lelik has been involved in is that the victims are all too scared to share any real information about him. Clearly, he must have threatened them in some way. His modus operandi is to silently infiltrate the scene and leave a threatening letter behind. but neither the letters nor the crime scenes ever yield any clues to his identity. So all these files have to offer are short statements by the people affected. They don't give us a lot to go on.
If nothing else, it shows we're dealing with a trained professional who's versed in counter-surveillance.
Yes, and to that point, he often strikes in highly secure locations. The victims are high-ranking and influential people who take their personal security very seriously. Somehow, Lelik slips right into their rooms without making a sound. There's never any eyewitnesses, nor the slightest trace of a break-in. If he can get in and out undetected, it means he can strike without warning. Not that that's ever happened so far, but the thought is enough to scare these people sleepless. It's hard to believe that a human being could pull this off flawlessly every time, so they switched the focus of the investigation to Faye. Unfortunately, no one's found anything yet. Careful, don't underestimate me. Although truth be told, I'd probably find it hard not to blow my cover. Direct confrontation is more my style.
We haven't ruled out the possibility of Lelik being human. It's just, there can only be a handful of people in all of Teyvat who'd fit the profile. Faye, on the other hand, plenty would have the ability, but few would have the motive.
No, not as strong as me. You'll never find the culprit with criteria like that. Let's go with a little weaker than me. There's no denying that Master is strong, but meticulous. We can only hope.
She's just trying to find a reference point. Stop getting fixated on who's stronger than who.
But that's the most important thing. In my opinion, anyway.
Odette? Yeah, that seems about right. Her skills are solid, and she's always calm under pressure.
Except she's Fatui, so the likelihood of her working against us is pretty low. But yeah, much more accurate than your previous example at least.
No, wait a moment. Maybe we should interrogate that assumption.
What do you mean? Which assumption?
Her Fatui identity doesn't necessarily exonerate her. And when you think about it, the Rokot would be precisely what she needs to conceal her identity.
Plus, she wouldn't need to be such a pro at covering her tracks. She'd already know where the Fatui will be and when, so she could choose the perfect time to act. Oh, yikes. I was just thinking out loud. Why is this starting to sound like such a convincing theory? Still, what reason could Odette possibly have for trying to call off Project Stuja?
Arlecchino would be the best person to ask. She knows Odette best. Unfortunately, she isn't back yet. Rosaline used to open up to her in private about her struggles with Odette. As I'm sure you can imagine, Arlecchino is quite a lot better with children than Rosaline was. She gave her some tips on how to handle the situation, and Rosaline managed to reach a settlement with Odette before leaving. So I suppose there were at least no lifelong regrets left behind. Beyond that, I don't know the details about that side of things. But I do know that Odette definitely has a motive to hold a grudge against Project Stuja. The reason being, her father passed away during the early stages of the project. That was back before it had been named Project Stuja, when things were still being worked out. But in essence, it's remained the same ever since.
The more you know. Rosaline was always so self-centered. I never understood why she started paying so much attention to Odette. Is that such a surprise? If you cast your mind back, you may remember that Rosaline and I weren't exactly close. We had tea together a few times, but that was about it.
Odette's past is no secret. Her father was a fatus and her mother was a very famous ballerina. On the surface, it looks like she followed right in her parents' footsteps. But the truth is quite a different story. After her father passed away on a mission, her mother was overcome with grief. She broke her leg during a performance and could never dance again. Odette was only interested in ballet at the time, but this tragedy left the family with both breadwinners gone. Per Capitano's policy, family members of Fatui who died in the line of duty had to be appropriately accommodated and provided with adequate assistance. So, regardless of how Rosaline may have felt about it, it fell to her to resolve the issue of Odette's family's livelihood. In the end, the solution they agreed upon was—
Right, because the alternative would have been a one-off compensation payment, I guess. In that sense, joining up was definitely the better option. Still, she must have had mixed feelings about it, right? If she doesn't even like the Fatui.
It's just a theory, a possibility. But as a motive for Odette to become Lelik, it holds up. That said, I have no idea where Odette's head is at right now, or what her conflict with Rosaline was about. Plenty of people were on bad terms with Rosaline. I have no intention of trying to figure it all out. Yes, but there's not much point in discussing that now.
Yeah, back to Lelik. Since our investigations so far have turned up next to nothing, we've got nothing to lose by trying a new angle. Funnily enough, Tonya and I had actually made plans to go to the theater tomorrow to watch Odette's rehearsal. Unfortunately, thanks to this Lelik situation, I'll be stuck working overtime again. Which means you can go in my place. No point wasting the ticket. Plus, you'll get to meet Tonya.
Spirit Seeker. Quite the classic ballet. It was passed down through Odette's mother's family for generations, though it hasn't been performed in years. But Odette's been practicing it diligently, and it's finally ready for a return to the stage. Excitement is through the roof. Tickets—
Tonya's excited for it too. She's desperate to see it no matter what. Personally, it's not really my kind of thing, but since she's my little sister, I had to figure something out.
I've actually seen it several times before. The story's pretty straightforward. The lead character follows a trail of clues left behind by a spirit, gradually recovering her. It's a tale of love and regret. So not exactly reinventing the wheel, at least by today's standards. But when that classic melody kicks in and the lead character begins to dance. Not an easy dance to do justice to, though. I know it's always been Odette's dream to perform this piece, but I'm not sure she's really ready.
In that case, I think that even if she is Lelik, we should wait until her performance is over before we respond. I'll let you take it from here, comrade.
How tiresome. Pick up the pace.
Sounds like you made a ton of progress today. It's good that everything's going so smoothly. Next step is to head back to the theater and get a clear answer from Odette. Either her way. Paimon doesn't get the sense that she's a bad person. Sure, she might have done some pretty extreme things, but Paimon bet maybe this is going too far, but like, with everything she's managed to do so far, wouldn't it make more sense in theory to be even more, you know, heavy-handed? Why leave a letter when she could, well, we know there are plenty of other ways to keep people in line, right? The point is, she could have gone further, but she didn't. So, if it is her, she's got some principles at least. Yeah! Well, all you can do is follow the facts wherever they lead. No change, really. But that thing Paimon told you about yesterday? Paimon feels like she can sense it more clearly now. Hearing you talk about your day makes Paimon itch for an adventure.
Yeah, I wish you could be there too. I'm not used to adventuring alone. But don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this.
Guess it's just one of those things. Never mind. Paimon will behave herself and keep resting.
If Odette is Lelek, she may well have inside information on Project Stuja. Her father was involved with the project's early implementation and tragically died in the process. It's hard to imagine she could have gotten this far without knowing anything at all about the Tsaritsa. When she spoke to us as a member of the Fatui, how much did she let on? Only time will
Hey look! It's snowing! Could be a tough day ahead. Make sure you wrap up warm tomorrow. Working on the crossword puzzle in the newspaper. Oh, shoot! Paimon forgot the next word!
Take a break. Pick up the pace. Come on, keep up.
Whew. It sure is cold today. Here to see Odette? I just need to see your tickets for the Perfect. Thank you. I'll hold on to your tickets.
I think I'll leave the Lelek question until after the show's over. Then I'll go find Odette. Child said he was originally going to come with Tonya. So I'm guessing Tonya's already here somewhere. Is there anyone here who looks like a Tonya? Let's see. It's a small audience. Makes sense for a Mr. Chuganov's back again by the looks of it. Oh, and is that Mitya? And that Fatui officer, Valeri. Guess he must be playing cat and mouse with Mitya. Oh no. It looks like the show's starting, and I still haven't found Tonya.
Members of the audience, I'm a staff member here at the theater. Today's performance was a very special one for us, as it marks the first attempt in a long time to revive the classic Snezhnayan ballet. To commemorate this occasion, we would love to take a group photo of the cast, crew, and audience members present today. Could I...
All right, everyone, huddle in a little more. Now, look at the camera. 1, 2, 3!
Are you quite satisfied, Mr. Energy Scientist? I rather hope you don't have any other escape plans to add to my workload today.
What are you talking about, Sarge? This was simply my way of inviting you to watch Miss Odette's new show with me. And wasn't the performance spectacular? In the future, I heartily encourage you to take a leaf out of my book.
It was indeed a fine performance, but I must correct you on one point. This is not time outside of work.
Working hours and non-working hours are just a social construct. Human technology can never advance if we're too rigid in our thinking, Sarge.
May we leave now?
Already? I mean, I was kinda hoping to soak up the atmosphere for a little longer, but... Off we go then, Sarge. Back to the land of working hours. Lead the way.
That has to be... excuse me? Are you Tonya? Huh? Your brother's busy today, so I took his ticket. Don't worry about him. He's fine.
Oh, okay. Sorry for the trouble.
What's wrong? Are you sick?
No, I'm fine. It's nothing.
Maybe she caught a cold on the way here because of the weather?
I haven't seen snow like this in a long, long time. It's most unusual.
I know. It's completely white out there. You can barely see a thing. I've never seen such heavy snow in my life.
Let's wait it out for now. You'd be lucky not to freeze to death in this weather, let alone find your way.
Well, look at that. Maybe we shouldn't be in such a rush to get back after all. What do you think?
Let's wait and see.
Why do you need to take it so seriously? Fate has given us this one—
Come to think of it, there's a small inn not far from here that always keeps plenty of extra blankets. I know the route well. Shall I head over and borrow a few blankets? That way, anyone in a hurry can wrap up warm for the journey back. Just remember to return them next time.
Sir, there's really no need to go to all that trouble.
Hey, it's no trouble at all. Wait here, I'll be right back.
What a kind gentleman. Very good. My wife and daughter are waiting for me at home, so I shall be heading back as soon as I get my blanket.
So are you expecting us to—
Don't worry about that. I made arrangements in advance. Should I not return to the Armory Palace within 3.5 hours after Operation Showtime begins, and they will escort us back. You are one of our key military personnel, so any weather-related risks must be eliminated.
Operation Showtime? So, wait. Every single time you drag me back to work when I sneak out, it's a whole official operation? I gotta say, you've really turned this into quite a moral dilemma for me.
It's snowing pretty hard out there. I think you should stay here for now. You seem a little under the weather.
Sure. My brother might come pick me up in a bit anyway.
Time to get to work. I should head backstage and find Odette. I need to look her in the eye and ask her about Lelek.
Excuse me, are you looking for someone? Ah, a fan, I'm guessing? Today is just a dress rehearsal, so Miss Odette won't be meeting with— Sorry, but that area is currently off limits to everyone except the cast and—
Huh. Bad timing, I guess. Well, I might as well stick around.
What happened to the gentleman who went to fetch the blankets? How has he still not returned?
I was thinking the same thing. It's still snowing very hard. Do you think something might have happened to him?
Whatever the reason for his delay, I must say I hate nothing more than people who make empty promises and fail to deliver. Well, I have to treat my employees like that on occasion, but that's different.
You seem anxious, Mr. Valeri.
It's been nearly 4 hours since I left the armory. The army should have arrived to extract us by now. They know how much I despise tardiness and disrupted plans. There's simply no reason that they shouldn't have shown up by now, barring exceptional circumstances.
Surely a snowstorm like this one counts as such.
Few things in this world can stop the Snezhnayan army, Mr. Mitya. And a snowstorm is certainly not one of them.
Why don't you go out and take a look? They might be right outside, waiting for your orders before they dare come in.
An absurd hypothesis. I have no intention of leaving your side for even a moment until I have escorted you back to the Armory Palace.
This doesn't look like an ordinary snowstorm to me. That guy who left earlier. It looked like he just vanished into thin air. Either that, or my—
A man-eating snowstorm? Come on. Night hasn't even fallen yet.
Traveler, didn't know you were coming today. How come you didn't say anything? Oh, right. I assumed you were looking for me and Vodenitsa. Odette's still backstage. Whoa, that's quite a snowstorm out there. I've been working backstage this whole time, so I didn't even notice.
Huh. Is weather like this rare even in Snezhnaya?
Yeah, snow like this. I'm sure I've seen it out in the wild before, but never in the city. Actually, I take that back. I don't think I've seen snow this bad even in the wild. This is something else. It's not normal.
If even Alosha thinks snow like this isn't normal, could it have anything to do with that monster people have been talking about?
We can't stay cooped up here forever. Someone needs to go out and take a look. No need. I have plenty of experience with snowstorms. Besides, I work here while you're an audience member. I should... Everyone by the door. Careful not to let the snow soak into your shoes. In a snowstorm, you gotta look after your toes above all else.
Heading out, my man? Be careful. I've been told the snowstorm eats people alive.
Thanks for the advice. I am planning to be careful. I just want to take a quick look at the situation out there.
He's back! He's back! How was it? What's going on out there?
Did you see any soldiers patrolling the area?
Something about this storm isn't right. There's no one out there. I didn't see a single soul. And something in the air gives me the creeps. This isn't your average snowstorm. I suspect it might be related to recent events in our nation. I strongly advise everyone to stay here until the snow dies down.
Are you serious? So all of us are trapped here now? That sounds a little far-fetched to me.
You want to go outside and see? I, for one, am not risking my neck in that weather.
This just turned from a minor delay into a major hassle.
We can only hope that our friend who went to fetch the blankets just ditched us and went home.
Is it really that bad? But my daughter, I won't be able to read her a bedtime story tonight.
Huh? What are you all still doing here? Whoa! It's snowing hard! So now we're stuck here? Oh, this is terrible! On the bright side, the theater's always well stocked with supplies. If the snow still doesn't let up as we get into the evening, you can spend the night here, everyone. At least, I assume that's alright? Odette?
Fine by me.
This seems like a sensible backup plan under the circumstances.
What are you staring outside and praying for, my man? You anxious to get home too?
Oh, your majesty the Tsaritsa, I beg you. This is a golden opportunity to spend the night under the same roof as the Toot.
I think I've changed my mind.
Sir, if you so much as look at us funny, you'll be seeing stars in a whole other way. Behave yourself, or you'll be begging for that blizzard.
It's getting colder. We need to keep the indoor temperature up. Close the door and lock it tight. Let's head somewhere warmer.
And then there's the aristocrats. Easiest of all to deal with. You don't need to use any force whatsoever. All you have to do is show them the rope you plan to tie them up with.
I don't.
Because nothing horrifies them more than the thought of a cheap, coarse rope leaving creases on their precious million more coat. They'll do whatever you ask to avoid that fate.
Unexpected, but fun.
Well, look at that. I got myself a new listener. Hey there. Let me introduce myself. The name's Shram, and I'm a mercenary. The kind that...
And I am Chuganov, an entrepreneur. If my name is unfamiliar to you, you will no doubt have heard of my factory.
Are you really that famous, Mr. Chuganov? How come I've never heard your name before?
Excuse me? Is that a joke?
Oh, I'll have to ask my rope later. He's probably tied up more entrepreneurs than I've ever heard of.
This is highly irregular. A delay of over an hour during an operation like this theoretically warrants a Harbinger-level response. I wonder what the issue is. The storm, or something else.
Sarge, the day you learned to let go and just enjoy... Why, hello, ma'am. I believe you were the one sitting at a nearby table back at Podvor. Any friend of the theater's star performers is a friend of mine. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Mitya, from the Energy Commission.
Greetings. Major Valeri, head of the Special Assignments Battalion. I am here to ensure Mr. Mitya's personal safety. Please let me know if I can be of any assistance.
Miss Traveler, I cannot help but notice that Miss Odette is stealing glances at me. Any idea what that could be about? I've racked my brains, but I can't think of anything I might have done to offend her. Perhaps she noticed me spacing out during her performance?
So, Mr. Mitya, is your work related to Project Stuja?
Yes, that's right. The higher-ups in the Fatui transferred me from the Energy Commission to the Armory Palace because they wanted me to... Really? I can't even talk about that? Pretty sure it counts as part of my private life. All right, I won't say anything. Sorry, traveler. As you can see, I'm afraid this pleasant chat will have to end here.
My husband has major trust issues. To him, I doubt even this snowstorm is a good enough excuse for me to stay out all night.
That's the price of marrying into wealth. You'll get used to it. I'm not about to stop you if you want to leave. But don't drag me along. Hello? Can I help you?
My husband...
That's the price of... hello?
I don't think it's ever been this lively backstage before. I didn't know you were coming today. Hey, have you seen Chuganov? I heard he was coming today. Have you spoken to him at all?
I'm with you. This could be just the chance we need.
Yeah, I gotta figure out a way to coax some more intel out of him. I want to know why he suddenly changed his stance on Project Stuja.
For the Rokad, or just out of personal interest?
Shh! There are other people around.
How are you feeling, Tonya?
I'm fine. Sorry to worry you. I'm used to it by this point. I take medicine for it. My
Child must take great care of his sister. He's never mentioned Tonya's illness, though.
You know, I actually find this whole thing kind of exciting. Stuck in a strange place thanks to a snowstorm. Having to spend the night with a bunch of interesting characters. It's pretty cool, don't you think? Exactly. It's like one of those stories where an ordinary school trip turns into a magical adventure. I've always wanted something like that to happen in real life. I'm fine, really. Just got a little overexcited.
Look after yourself. Otherwise, your brother will come after me.
I have to say, even though today was a rehearsal and there were some hiccups along the way, Miss Odette's performance was one of the best I've ever seen.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Especially considering the weight of the subject matter. It takes a truly... Do you think we were coming on too strong? Odette's...
What about you? What did you think of today's performance? Huh. That's actually a more insightful critique than I was expecting. My mother would agree. She's always thought that was my biggest flaw. Maybe I need to work on making my facial expressions appear more natural. I'll make sure to save a ticket for you when the show's performance ready.
This doesn't seem like the time or place to bring up the subject of Lelek. I need a chance to speak with her in private.
So unfair. Talk about double standards.
And now it looks like I've been spotted. You know Mitya too?
No, I don't. I just have a feeling that he might be dangerous. How's it looking, Alosha?
No change from this afternoon. Heavy snow with no sign of slowing down.
May I have your attention, please? The storm is unlikely to stop tonight, and it'll be even more dangerous outside at night than it was during the day. We at the theater owe everyone here a duty of care. Therefore, we strongly suggest that you stay on site overnight and avoid going outside unless absolutely necessary. In a few short moments, we'll give you a tour of the theater's various quarters. You can choose to sleep in the VIP room, the office, or backstage. Or on the stage if you'd prefer. We won't mind.
I'll pass on sleeping on the stage. What if the snow is stopped by tomorrow morning? The early birds in the audience might think we're part of some experimental new show.
A drama about sleeping? That could be fun. Maybe we could come up with a title for the production.
Not bad. Clear selling point at least. Could be a big hit.
Anyone who doesn't wish to sleep on the stage, please follow me. I'll show you to the rooms.
I guess I'll call it a night. Though, I feel like I won't sleep very well without Paimon here. I'm sure she'll be worried that I haven't made it back yet. But as long as she looks out the window, I wonder if she's feeling any better yet? At least she hasn't been getting any worse. Still.
Ah, finally. Welcome back to the world of the living, lazy bones. I was about to wake you. The black mist is almost on us. Still waking up, huh? You know, the black mist. It's been chasing us from below ever since we were born. Come on, let's keep heading up. Onwards and upwards is the only way to survive. Don't listen to a word those black mist cultists say.
Here we go again. The endless march toward survival.
What's going on? That black mist down there is creeping me out.
The black mist cultists believe that being swallowed by the black mist leads to everlasting peace. But if you ask me, they're just lying to themselves. We're the only heretics left, the only ones who refuse to give in. We have to keep going.
But how do you actually know that they're wrong?
Dangerous question there, Torgov. The moment your faith wavers, you start a chain reaction that ends in the collapse of your will. Put the question out of your mind. Stay strong and believe that the black mist means certain death.
Okay, but it's not my mind that's the problem. My body's about to give up on me. It's already starting to falter.
can't do this anymore. I've had enough of being forever on the run. What's the point of it all?
All this will pass eventually, I promise. Keep fighting. It will be worth—
You accuse the Black Mist cultists of being liars. But you're lying too. There is no end to this path. It keeps going up forever.
The cult of the Black Mist has poisoned your mind, Sobolova. Are you thinking of giving up as well?
I am. I think I'll take my chance.
As much as I detest the Black Mist cult—
Then I bid you both farewell. Let me put my personal opinions aside for a moment and say, I hope fate always appears so impossibly complicated. But at moments like this, its raw simplicity is laid. Their fate was sealed from the instant they entertained doubt. From then on, the outcome was both inevitable and irreversible. Torgov and Sobolova are gone. I never thought the day would come when even they would be swallowed by the Black Mist. It's just you and me now. Yes, it looks like it's satisfied. For now. This happens from time to time. But it won't be long before the Black Mist starts chasing survivors once again. No one knows how to stop its advance for good. Well, we should make the most of the precious moments of rest that those two bought for us. Huh? Are you really that sleepy, traveler?
What is it, Chuganov? What's wrong?
Is it morning already? Sounds like it's coming from next door.
Don't look, Miss Tonya. Stick. Okay.
What happened to them?
These two people have passed away. And the strange thing is that somehow I knew this was going to— Have I seen this moment before? Oh.
Let me take a look. No vital signs in either of them. They're dead. The cause of death, however, remains unclear. No wounds on the bodies, no signs of a struggle, and no skin discoloration.
But just last night, they were chatting and joking away. This is so—
Could they have had pre-existing medical conditions? Even then, the odds of them both dying—
It's hard to believe that they died of natural causes. Nor do— Who was the first to discover the bodies?
It was me. But these deaths have nothing to do with me, officer. I got up early because I wanted to see if the snow had stopped. Then I noticed that the door to this room was open, and it looked like there was a man and woman inside.
I can corroborate this. I was doing my morning exercises near the stage. When I saw Mr. Chuganov, I can also confirm that I didn't see a single person approach that room before him.
The snowstorm was raging all night, and it's still going now. There's no way someone could have come in from outside, correct?
You mean an intruder? No, not possible. I slept by the door last night as a precaution. There's no way I wouldn't have noticed if—
Everyone, split into pairs and search the theater for anyone in hiding, or any signs of suspicious activity.
Nothing on your end either?
Backstage is clear. No signs of suspicious activity.
We checked the basement. Also clear. I don't think there's anywhere here that a living person could hide.
Are we certain that the theater doesn't have a back door? Or any tunnel or passage?
No, there's nothing like that. If people were sneaking in through some secret tunnel to avoid... I also checked the windows. All of them are locked from the inside, and there's no sign of anyone entering or...
It sounds like we can safely rule out the intruder theory. If anyone came in during the night in this weather, there'd be no way for them to...
This can only mean one thing. It's like one of those murder mysteries you see in novels and plays, isn't it? The ones where the kill...
We can't quite jump to that conclusion just yet.
Could he be right? It's hard to imagine something like that happening in real... Set in a theater during a snowstorm? A murder takes place and the killer is among us.
Looking at who the killer targeted, and the clean entry and exit? It all adds up. I know what this is.
What is? What have you figured out?
Both victims were wealthy, well-known local merchants. And the door was deliberately left open so I would discover the bodies and witness the... Such ruthless methods. This was your doing, wasn't it? Lelik.
Lelik?
You mean Lelik is among us? And he's the killer?
Lelik. I know this code name. Member of the Rokot, anti-Project Stuja. Walk me through your reasoning, Mr. Chuganov. What do you...
What now, huh? What now, Lelik? What more do you want from me? I already voted against Project Stuja at the You snuck into my house the other day while I was asleep. Left a threatening letter. And I did all that you asked. But Project Stuja cannot be so easily shaken. Not with...
So he really was threatened by Lelik. That makes sense.
And now you're resorting to murder to threaten me. Isn't that right? I knew it. The rope. Show yourself! Which one of you is Lelik, Tell me! I'll...
Was this really Lelik's doing? If Odette really is Lelik, this seems out of character. But then I'm probably the only one here with a compelling theory about Lelik's true identity. What should I do?
I don't think it's likely that Lelik killed anyone. At least from the stories I've heard, he's never killed anyone before. And his name has never come up in connection with any murder cases. Besides, even if Lelik did want to threaten you, why resort to such an extreme and roundabout method? It's not his style at all.
Vodianitsa doesn't know that Lelik might be Odette.
Miss Vodianitsa, why do you suddenly feel the need...
Defense? Oh, no, it's just... I'm worried that we're jumping to conclusions here, so I wanted to share my point of view. Also, I don't think the Rokot is as bad as you're making it out to be.
Well, if you think I'm so wrong, what's your theory then, Why don't you tell us who the...
The case is still evolving, Mr. Chuganov. Please do not prevent others from expressing their opinions so early on in the discussion.
Even so, there's no denying that the recent threat received by Mr. Chuganov may well be an important clue.
So there's still a good chance that Lelik is right here among us. I can't do this anymore. I don't care if it's still snowing outside.
Whoa, take a beat. We all know it's far too dangerous out there. Even the soldiers couldn't get to us. Go out, and whoever this Lelik is, they're surely not going to murder anyone in broad daylight.
As much as I regret having to say this, I'd like everyone to cooperate and refrain from exiting the premises because as things stand, every one of us is now a suspect. Unless anyone has further information to share, let's adjourn for now. Feel free to keep searching for clues.
I still find it hard to believe there's a murderer. There's no guarantee that you can trust your...
You seem to be very comfortable taking charge, Major. You took the reins as soon as things went south.
I simply made an executive decision that someone needed.
No, quite the opposite. We feel much safer for it.
You're right, that was my bad. It was a knee-jerk reaction. I didn't think it through. Luckily, no one suspected my... Oh, phew! It's just you!
Since Bodianitsa and I were on the same page earlier, I think I should share my thoughts with the Rokot members.
Whoa. Are you serious? I don't know if this counts as gossip, but it's definitely on track to be the juiciest this whole Odette? Really? Odette? Oh god, how dumb does this make me look?
Actually, it's exactly what you'd expect.
And now that you mention it, the more I think about it, what are we up to now? 1, 2, 3... Odette's identities. She's my coworker, specifically a ballerina, and also a fatous, a member of... It must be so exhausting. I guess since I've always known her as a member of the Fatui, it never even crossed my mind that she could be in... I don't understand. If she's with the Fatui, what reason could she have for being...
Probably best if you ask her that in person.
Well, since you waited until now to bring this up instead of announcing it to everyone earlier, does that mean we're all on the same page here? Yeah. Lilac may not follow orders from the Rokot leadership, but as far as I'm concerned, we need to confront her face to face.
Do you think she'd really admit to being Lilac?
I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. For now, we'll work on the assumption that she didn't kill anyone, and see... Now's her chance. Odette's alone. Hey, Odette!
What is it, you guys?
Shh! Keep your voice down. So, you're Lilac, aren't you? Alright, fine. You don't have to say anything or explain yourself, just... hear me out first. None of us believes you'd kill innocent people. Whoever murdered those 2 people last night, the Traveler was the first to figure out your identity, but she kept quiet during the discussion just now. Still, it's clear where the group consensus is heading. Everyone believes Lilac is the culprit. If your identity is exposed, you'll be in a really bad spot. We're your colleagues, and we know what kind of person you are. I don't want anything bad to happen to you, so can you clue us in? Tell us everything. The more we know, the more easily we'll be able to
All right. Yes, I'm Lilac. And no, I'm not the murderer. And thanks, but I don't need you to cover for me. Actually, I'm planning to reveal my identity.
You're gonna reveal that you're Lilac?
That's right. I'll admit I was surprised at first when Shuganov guessed that I was here. It was just a lucky guess, but it caught me off guard. But after taking some time to assess the situation and confirm where everyone stands, I don't believe I have anything to worry about.
Are you sure you don't... Mr. Valeri! What?!
So...
I don't know what game you're playing.
It's just one identity. So what if it's exposed? I can disappear and adopt a new identity anytime I please. I made my peace with this when I chose to become Lelik. But more importantly, I promise I am not the murderer. Which means that someone else is. So, if anyone still insists that I did this, you'd best otherwise, I suggest that you bite your tongue. Because if you really believe I killed 2 people without making a sound or leaving a trace, pointing fingers at me would surely only make you my next.
Is this really the truth, Miss Odette?
That's confidence, all right.
A real no-nonsense attitude. I can see why Marionette said that she's on track to inherit the title of the fair.
Are you seriously buying this? Hey, officer! She just admitted to being Lelik. Aren't you going to do something about this?
I do have one question, Miss Odette. Why have you chosen...
If I didn't say anything, everyone would be focusing all their efforts on and that is exactly what the real culprit wants. I don't want to be the scapegoat who lets the murderer get away with this crime.
Despite all the accusations, she made the smart choice. A remarkable display of rational thinking under pressure. Clearly, Odette's talent
She thought so far ahead. Why do I always feel like I'm one step behind her in
You've convinced me. Dealing with the murder case remains the top priority right now. Nevertheless, the group still considers you the prime suspect. I assume you have no quarrel with that,
I understand. You're welcome to keep an eye.
Mr. Chuganov?
For my wife and daughter's sake, I'll let you off the hook.
Good work, Lelik Guard Team. And Lelik, too. Here, have some hot water.
Turns out Valeri knew about my exploits, so now I've been told I have to guard Lelik with him.
Shouldn't you be facing my way if you're guarding me? At the moment, it looks more like you're my bodyguards.
If the true culprit is indeed still at large, as you have claimed, we must keep our guard up against them also.
Don't worry, Tonya. We'll get through this. Once the snow stops, the officials will step in. The investigation will get easier, and then we'll be safe.
But once the snow stops, won't everyone just leave?
You're gonna miss us, huh? Well, some of us work at the theaters, so we'll still be here.
Really, Miss Vodian?
Aw, all right, let's swear to it. I promise to give you the pass.
Promise.
Don't indulge her, Tonya. You don't have to swear an oath over things like that.
You really do get carried away sometimes, don't you, Miss Vodianitsa?
Hey! Mind your own business!
Don't be nervous, Miss Wateramp. Everyone's here. There's nothing to be...
Excuse me? Do I look nervous? Don't be ridiculous.
No. You sound nervous, lass.
Oh. Wait, but how... Okay, plenty of people know that I'm a water imp, but still... How come you understand our primary mode of expression?
Primary mode of expression. I've not come across that concept before.
Well, it's just... We water imps tend to communicate our emotions to each other by singing, rather than facial. The emotions we convey through song take precedence over our facial expressions. So, we...
I'm impressed, Shram. I didn't take you for a man of culture.
It's not about being cultured or not. The thing is, this mode of expression can usually only be understood by other water imps. And yet, you're clearly human, Mr. Shrimp.
It's really not the big deal you're making it out to be. I think I just have a knack for it. Plus, I have a... very close friend who's a water imp. A delightful lady. Anyway, we spent so much time together that before I knew it, I noticed I could understand her expressions.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Still, the fact that you have a water imp friend is even more surprising. I'd better watch what I'm singing when I'm around you from now on.
Hey, what are you implying? You're not secretly insulting the audience in your songs, are you?
Heavens! Why would I do a thing like that?
It's getting late. We should discuss our sleeping arrangements for...
I suggest that we don't sleep in separate quarters tonight. It will be safer if we all stayed together.
As long as someone keeps an eye on Lelik, I'm quite sure we won't...
Are you saying that you wish to bet your life on Miss Odette being the killer?
Nonsense. Of course not.
Then I propose the following arrangement for tonight. The Traveler, Odette, and I will form the Night Watch. We'll sleep in shifts, but 2 of us must be awake at any given time.
An excellent idea. This allows us to handle the night watch while also keeping an eye on Lelik. Meanwhile, the rule of taking shifts in pairs resolves the other issue. I expect that plan took you quite some time to come up with, didn't it?
Actually, our field combat manual outlines a similar approach. Although the scenario there involves guarding prisoners over... That being said, I must clarify that I harbor no In fact, Lelik's numerous covert operations make fine textbook examples for military agents.
I care less about respect and more about the fact that you just robbed me of 2/3 of my sleep tonight. I'm calling dibs on being the first to rest. Good night.
It's almost time. We should wake Odette. How are you faring? Oh, not going to argue with that. I'll take a quick nap.
It's finally time for Odette and I to share the night watch. I came here to get information from her in the first place. Maybe I should think of...
How long are you gonna keep staring at me? Couldn't sleep. My mind's been... Plus, there's something I've been meaning to talk to you about. I had a hunch that you wanted a conversation, too. I just had a simple question for you, really. Rosaline, in her final moments, did she have any last words or anything? I see. Well, that was all. No. She was utterly ruthless in pursuing her goals. That kind of person should be hard to miss. And yet, even though I never approved of her methods, and she was an abrasive person, the fact remains that I am indebted to her. Oh, she told you. I guess that makes sense. I think she and Rosaline were on pretty good terms. Yes, Rosaline wasn't the kind to gossip about this sort of thing. Not that it's any huge secret to me, though. When I was a child, I had to join the Fatui for the sake of my mother and me. I trained under Rosaline. It was extremely grueling, and it didn't exactly come naturally to me. All I could do was try to ignore the biting cold and practice. I was a newcomer who'd managed to make a good first impression on a harbinger. There was pressure to live up to her expectations. Every day was a struggle against the cold, pain, and fatigue. After enduring all that, I've become almost immune to the sensation of pain. Surely, any child who had to experience that would grow to hate her lot in life, don't you think? So, I put an equal amount of effort into my ballet. Because in my young mind, that was the only way to defy my fate. It was my way of telling her, the Fatui's demands and your expectations of me are not what I wish for. I think she probably blamed my poor performance and training on my passion for ballet. She knew my heart wasn't in. One time, when I was secretly practicing a dance at night, she suddenly showed up. I knew she would. I told her, "You don't deserve to watch the dance I learned from my mother." She looked stunned. I guess she was surprised that I lashed out first, before she had the chance. But strangely enough, on that occasion, she wasn't fierce with me like she was during training. Instead, she fell silent for a moment, and then left. After that, she never interfered with my dancing or asked me how it was going. She never came to watch me dance again either. Not even once. She was. But even now, whenever I take out this core Ignis, I can't help but think of that night. Of the look on her face. Sort of. Although gift might be too kind a term. This is her flame sealed within ice. A symbol of her favor, yes, but also her way of keeping an eye on people. She knew the location of every piece of core Ignis. If any recipient started acting suspiciously, she'd be on to them immediately. Trust her to make even a mark of approval. So, when news of Rosaline's death reached Snezhnaya, many people immediately crushed their core Ignis. It gave them a profound sense of relief, like they'd broken free from her shackles. But I kept mine. With my sensitivity to pain being as dull as it is, the warmth from this core Ignis is one of the few things I can still feel clearly. I still wonder, did she really come to stop me that night? I wasn't sure, but I was scared, so I said some really awful things. I guess she didn't leave anything behind. Not that I expected her to. It's fine. It's just a bit of a shame that we couldn't settle our differences before the end. She did. Are you sure she was talking about this event? No, she didn't. I didn't even find out that she'd gone to Mondstadt until a while after she'd left. Wait, in that case... Okay, I will. Thanks for letting me know.
There's something I'm trying to figure out. I'm beginning to suspect that Paimon's mystery illness is being caused by the energy research behind Project Stuja. Paimon's very important to me, so I have to get to the bottom of this. I figured that since you're Lelek, you might know something about all—
The ultimate goal of this energy experiment is to create a weapon for the final battle. The weapon's construction was completed in Nodkrai. Now, all that remains is to arm it with a sufficiently powerful energy. Yes, the weapon's development and all the related experiments are overseen by Lord Piero, the Jester. and the lab is located deep within the Armory Palace. I'm not sure why this experiment would be making Paimon feel unwell, though. The best way to get to the bottom of it would be to go there in person. Once we get out of here, I'll help you apply for an entry permit. And I'm hardly the organization's proudest member, as you know. You answered my question about Rosaline. I want to do you a favor in return. It's that simple.
Huh? What's wrong? Are you not feeling well?
You two seem to be hitting it off.
I thought you were sleeping.
Of course I was. In the military, one learns to fall asleep quickly, even in the most inhospitable environments. It's vital to...
Even if he was awake, he can't have overheard us.
Well, thank you both for keeping watch. Traveler, I'll take over for now. It's your turn to get some sleep.
Sure. This is our second night here, but at least I found out a little more about Paimon. I hope she's been sleeping well the past couple of days. Huh. Why do I feel like I'm being watched? Seriously? Is this payback for when I stared at her earlier? But... Never mind.
Hey, what are you spacing out for? Are you reaching your limit too?
How long have we been walking for? Do you remember?
Time's lost all meaning. Ever since we noticed that thing above our heads.
A star key? Or key star? Anyway, the person who named it was swallowed by the black mist.
Whatever it's called, ever since we noticed it, we've been walking up, but it seems like no matter how far we walk...
Well, we've come this far. You never know. Maybe we're almost there? Come on, enough moping. Let's go. Not again! I lost count of how many times we run into them! Careful!
Back up here!
Shut up! Run faster.
All right, here comes another one.
Monsters ahead of us. The black mist behind us. Fine. Feels like there's no escape.
Are you hurt, Coolish?
No. I'm fine.
I get you. In fact, I reached my limit a long time.
Yeah. The hope that the star gives us is the only thing keeping us going. But I'm not sure it's real at all. Otherwise, why would it always be out of reach?
We know you mean well, but you're only saying that to try and encourage us to keep...
Thank you, friend. You're going to continue, aren't you? I admire that.
It's not an illusion. We really are getting closer to the star.
Congratulations. You're the first person to make it here. I'm the star's envoy. The black mist has stopped rising. Its hunger is satisfied for now, having devoured your two companions. This is a good opportunity. I'll let you get some rest before we continue. What do you mean, leave? The star... Congratulations on reaching the starting point. Once you are ready, we will head out and walk upwards. I will be right by your side. Huh? What's wrong? Hey, don't give up before the journey's even begun.
Is that...
Coolish, wake up! Please wake up!
The situation is identical to that of the two casualties yesterday.
At least there are some elements that we can rule out this time. They slept on the stage with everyone else, so I suppose the surrounding environment can't be a relevant variable.
Rampana. Coolish.
Weren't some of us keeping watch last night? 3 of us, in fact. How could you not notice something was wrong?
I'm as confused as you are. Certainly nothing unusual happened on my watch.
Likewise, and from what I've observed so far, both Miss Odette and the Traveler can be trusted.
To be honest, I didn't get a wink of sleep last night. I couldn't help but think I was the target. So I just laid there. I heard the Traveler and Lelik chatting, but Otherwise, I don't recall hearing any commotion during the night.
Me too. I didn't want to wake everyone up, so I was concentrating hard, trying not to cough.
Then, what could possibly be causing this? Once was bad enough. I can't believe it happened again. I worked closely with Rampana and Coolish for so long.
Florianitsa.
4 victims in just 2 days, and we still don't have I need to get to the bottom of this as soon as possible. And above all...
Still snowing?
Yes, I just checked. Still no sign of anyone outside either.
So we only have ourselves to rely on.
If you ask me, this killer can clearly strike whenever they please. The Night Watch was a useless endeavor from the start. Lelik must be an expert in poisoning. Clearly she used...
Here we go again.
Listen, I was already thinking to myself last night, was Lelik's reason for revealing her identity the real story? She's been playing us for fools. You get off on this, don't you? Revealing your identity, only to carry...
That's a hideous thought. One that only a hideous mind like yours could dream up.
How dare you!
That's enough! Yesterday, you named Lelik as a suspect because the victims were both wealthy merchants. Lelik might have had a motive then, but today's victims were just ordinary people. Not to mention that they were colleagues of Odette and mine. What reason would she have—
Who knows? Maybe you don't know her as well as— I implore you all to ask yourselves, how Lelik is well known to be a ruthless operator, and now she has revealed her identity.
Everything you've said so far is still just conjecture, which doesn't constitute a concrete lead. You need to back up your
How can you defend her, officer? What did she say? Maybe I shouldn't be so surprised. You military types are always colluding with criminals to target the rich. All so you can get your grubby paws on our hard-earned fortunes. Then tell us to fall in line. The Fatui... Don't you dare!
Sir, but... You were the one who told us not to stop other people from expressing their opinion. 4 people have already died. Only you turning against one another is the last thing we should be doing right now.
Little girl.
Even if Mr. Chuganov is a puffed-up, pig-headed windbag who doesn't have a... He's still one of the victims here, isn't...
I had no intention of resorting to violence. But you're right. In any case, I believe Mr. Chuganov has calmed down a little now.
I don't think there's any need for that. What is there to discuss? Nothing about this situation is normal.
Did you have an idea, Mitya? You're the brainiac here, right? Come on, clue us—
I've been mulling something over. All the leads we have so far concern things from outside the theater. Miss Odette's alter ego, the threats Mr. Chuganov received, but then there's the 2 double murder crime scenes themselves, which have given us absolutely nothing to go on whatsoever. That's highly unusual. Even with the most careful killers, there's always some evidence left behind.
So what are you suggesting?
I think this could be a supernatural event. It isn't characteristic of human-on-human homicide at all.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you supposed to be a—
I got into scientific research because of my insatiable curiosity. But if the present situation defies all known scientific explanations, I don't mind shifting my curiosity toward the paranormal.
Now that you mention it, I remember when I first came to the theater. I heard rumors about this place being haunted.
Yeah, I think I heard the same thing. But I mean, they're only rumors, right? We've worked here for years. Surely we would have noticed any spooky goings-on by now.
Well, this has taken an unexpected turn. A haunted theater?
Why don't we take this opportunity to look for clues again with a more open mind? Maybe a different perspective will help us see something different.
Very well. Whether it's criminals or ghosts we're looking for, the same rules apply. Everyone needs to tread carefully. I'll move the bodies into the same room for now.
I need to think very hard about whether there's anything that ever needed hiding. After all these years...
Valeri, come take a look at this. You too,
Some sort of notebook.
It's the on-duty logbook for the theater. Coolish was he mostly used it to record any unusual incidents during a show, audience numbers, exit times, and so on. Yes, he'd always have this logbook.
This should confirm a lot of key details about the recent
Yes. The number of people. I've checked and double-checked. Apparently, we have an extra person among us.
Are we certain that logbook is accurate? Could someone have sneaked in without buying a ticket or something?
Unlikely. Coolish took his duties very seriously. Not to mention that this was a dress rehearsal, meaning smaller audience numbers and tighter ticket restrictions than usual. Everything...
We no longer have our tickets with us, do we? They got collected on entry. I assume there's no...
Unfortunately not. The theater recycles tickets. Once people are in the door, they don't tend to leave until the show ends, so we collect the tickets at the point of entry. Still, I'm inclined to believe that this
Did an extra person just materialize out of thin air?
Ah, Traveler. Alosha found it. We're both curious to hear your perspective. It appears to be a...
An investigation report, huh? Looks quite old.
The theater manager must have hired an investigator once specifically to look into this issue.
Presumably, the manager wanted to know if the supposed haunting was dangerous while also being fearful of... Anyway, the bottom line is, the haunting is actually real after all. It's caused by an obstruction.
Leyline problems are pretty unexceptional to me by this point. And it's hard to imagine what connection it could have.
Some of the language that appears at the very end of the report caught my eye. Angel civilization. My area of research doesn't touch on any of that, so it's completely outside of my wheelhouse. Huh? A piece of paper just fell out from the report. It landed right by your feet. How unnerving. It was tucked inside the report, so it must be a note left by the author. Death is near. Is that supposed to be what's going on here? But if so, how did the author foresee it? Could he predict the future somehow?
Maybe things are more complicated than we thought.
No, wait a second. If we take the report and the note at face value, they completely contradict one another. The report definitively concludes that the hauntings in the theater are harmless and cannot affect the real world. But the note seems to be... The question is, what exactly does the note mean by death? The various ways we could interpret this keyword lead in completely different directions. Let's pause our analysis here for now.
Tonya? Did you find anything?
Not yet. Still looking. So... Are we supposed to be looking for something paranormal? I think I'd prefer...
This looks like somebody's notebook. Shall we read it together?
Well, it doesn't look scary or anything. All right, let's read it together.
This has to be...
Maybe it's a little rude for us to peek at this. I feel like I just read someone's secret diary by accident. It sounds like she's writing this for her parents, right? I don't understand. Because her water imp parents belong to the aristocracy, who were driven out of Snezhnaya by the Tsaritsa long ago. And now they live somewhere new, where the postman can't get to. We're sorry. It's fine. My fault for not storing it properly. I can't leave things lying around and expect them to get ignored when... All right, give me my notebook back. I'll take over the investigation in this room.
If we take all this together, it's not impossible, is it? If anything, it's the natural...
Oh, I beg to differ. This sounds to me like a product of a researcher's vivid imagination. And perhaps it's because I'm still viewing this through the...
Does it really sound that far-fetched? Alright, well, let's treat that as speculation for now. I do agree with what you've said, so let's go with your idea.
Good. Okay, now that we finally have some meaningful leads, I think it's... So, that's about everything we've discovered so far. I'll share my theory first. Based on what we've learned from the logbook, I believe the extra person among us is most likely the killer. If the killer had simply bought a ticket, it would have greatly increased the risk of their identity being exposed. I expect he or she either hid in the theater ahead of time, or found a way to slip past the ticket inspection. They then blended in with the group, and waited for an opportunity to strike.
What about the note found in the investigation report?
The killer may have simply planted it there as some sort of sick joke. I've seen...
So, it has nothing to do with the haunting of the...
This theory makes sense to me. If we have an audience member unaccounted for...
Could it really be that simple?
So, in other words, all we have to do is find out who got in here without a ticket, and all our... Then let me make one thing clear. All the theater staff should be well aware that I came here for the rehearsal legitimately.
It's true. I hear you used every trick in the book to get a hold of that ticket, too. Everything short of throwing a temper tantrum and rolling around
I most certainly did not degrade myself in such...
Probably a stupid question, but I might as well ask. Did anyone here get in without having their ticket checked? Guess it was naive of me to expect them to just admit to it.
Especially after the unprompted Lelik reveal. Once was already a miracle. Twice would be unfathomable.
As things stand, the audience headcount doesn't add up. I guess we can rule out the theater staff members. Tonya received her ticket the same way I did. Valeri came to the theater to catch Mitya. Those two should be able to vouch for one another, and their... Valeri came to the theater... I don't believe any of us here knew Shram before all this. Mr. Shram, did you really go through the ticket inspection?
Huh? Me? Why am I being singled out, my friend? Do I seem...
It's not that you stand out as suspicious. More that everyone else has been ruled out as trustworthy.
Okay. Well, we spent the best part of 2 days together now. So I'm sure you can all tell what kind of person I am. I'm a true gentleman.
Yeah, I have no doubt that you're a good person. But the problem is, none of us here actually know you, so... Although, actually, what was it you said last night? Yeah, you're friends with that water imp. Which is why, last time I checked, there were barely any of us remaining in Snezhnaya, since most of the water imps left. Could you? And I suppose it's also kind of a way for everyone...
Good grief. Are you blushing? Pull yourself together, man. Stop...
Hey, revolting is a little strong. All right, fine. I was just a bodyguard hired by our family. But the stars must have aligned, because sparks began to fly between me and their daughter.
We don't need details. Just get to the point.
Okay. I'm just a little hesitant to reveal her name, that's all. You know how it is. These are delicate times. Even with me to protect her. If word gets out that she's dating a human, both the Fae and human factions will give her a hard time.
Really? Wait, no. That can't be.
Huh? Shram, what the devil are you talking about?
Why is everyone looking at me like that? Surely you can understand where I'm coming from.
Delicate times? Factions?
Yes? You know, the Civil War? Last time I checked, the Fae and the humans were still at each other's throats.
If I'm not mistaken, the last significant civil war in Snezhnayan history was over 400 years ago, when Her Majesty the Tsaritsa had just taken the throne and was consolidating her reign.
What do you mean, 400 years ago?
What's going on here? Is Shram from the past?
All right, Mr. Mitya, you win this round. As far-fetched as it is, it appears that your theory may be correct.
I'm just as amazed as you are. I didn't even believe it myself, to be honest.
Is someone going to explain what's going on here?
From the look on your face, you figured it out too, haven't you, Traveler?
That seems to be the case. Shram's the extra person, but there's no way of learning his identity from this clue. The theater's ley lines have been modified to block souls within its grounds from returning to them. Some souls can. Mr. Schramm's statement proves he's from hundreds of years ago, and according to the investigation report on the theater hauntings, I don't think I'm that redundant. For some unknown reason, the soul that has been wandering the theater due to the ley line issues, yeah, that must be the immediate reason why the ticket. The contents of the investigation report have been verified. Death is near.
Yeah, the logic is clear now. The investigation report said that there would be souls stuck wandering around the theater because the ley lines were cut off. Mr. Schramm must be one such soul who died in the theater a long time ago. In which case, that also makes him our extra person. So when the note said death is near, it must have been referring to death as in the deceased, people who died a long time ago.
Someone who died a long time ago.
In short, there's a dead person among us. The extra person we've been searching for is a ghost from the past.
You mean I'm a ghost? No. Don't make jokes like that, my man. There must be some mistake. But even if I was dead, I know for a fact I didn't kill anyone these past 2 nights.
Yeah, even if all that's true, the report also said the souls inside the theater can't affect reality, right? They're harmless.
Then what if the problem isn't the souls at all, but the ley lines themselves? The ley lines have a powerful ability to attract and devour souls. Let's say that the ley lines are like a black hole, constantly seeking to engulf souls. But the souls that don't want to return are trying to avoid being sucked in.
Huh. Why does this analogy sound so familiar?
What happens when the black hole can't achieve its goal? I'm only speculating here, but what if it ended up swallowing innocent souls by mistake? Or intentionally taking other souls?
That could explain why we weren't able to determine a cause of death. If you're right, and their souls were devoured by the ley lines, it does make some sense.
It does seem to explain a lot of the things we couldn't make sense of.
Except there's no concrete evidence. Mitya is relying on a... Still, it seems like the best explanation.
All right, so how could Schramm not know that he's dead? Seems a little unlikely that he hasn't noticed anything unusual even after several days
On the contrary, it's perfectly normal for a soul to wander the theater for centuries without questioning their existence or reason for being there. It's simply what's natural for them.
You know what, Mr. Brainiac? I think you might actually be right out. I'm trying to remember and... even though my head feels like it's going to explode, I think... it's all coming back to me. I was the one who didn't want to remember my own death, so I forced myself to forget.
Well, I'm sure those are painful.
My lady and I snuck out to go on a date one day. We bought tickets for the theater. It wasn't really my thing, but I was just... All of a sudden, a group of people burst into the theater, shouting for all the water imps to get out, performers and audience members included. It was clear the conflict between humans and Fae had reached a boiling point. This time, the extremists were even coming after the water imps who had nothing to do with the war. I thought I could pull one over on them, so I took off my jacket, draped it over my lady, and tried to sneak out amid the chaos. But I got caught. They started shouting, calling me a... But I was going to do whatever it took to buy our chance to escape, no matter how many people stood in my way. I had to, both as their bodyguard and out of love.
It's all right, friend. You can stop there if you want. You don't need to dig all that up.
It's just... even now, I'm still struggling to accept the truth. I'm... sorry. If I'd known I was a dead man walking, I wouldn't have dragged you down with me. If I'm the cause of all this death, then punish me however you see fit.
But, Mr. Shroom...
No. I refuse to be a burden. I know what I have to do. I guess it's high time I got a breath of fresh air. Out there, I mean. I'll leave
Mr. Shram, I'm sure we can figure out a different course of action.
My good sir. We both know I'm not supposed to be here. I should have accepted my death long ago. One way or another, this has to end.
No. I'm speaking on a personal level this time.
Let it go, man. Oh, wait. One last thing. Miss Wateramp. My lover. Her name was Litia.
Ozarova. Oh, Auntie Ozarova. That's what we all called her. I remember her as a very kind elder.
I'm so glad she survived. And she had lots of kids, as long as she went on to be happy. That's all that matters. Besides, I'm dead. My soul's been wandering around here for so long. There's no need to see me off, my friends. I've enjoyed our time together over these past few days. Perhaps we'll meet again in the next...
Take care, my man.
I know Mr. Shram was already dead, but... I still feel...
Death is cruel, no matter how we might try to make sense of it.
So, was the conflict between Fae and humans really that bad back then? I was only little, so I don't remember much. Even the historical records about that time period don't say much about it. All people know is that the Tsaritsa founded the Fatui, drove out most of the Fae aristocracy without explanation, then used her terrifying power to suppress the humans.
It seems to me like the Tsaritsa chose to make herself the enemy. She downplayed the conflict, directing whatever animosity both sides had for each other at herself instead. That's also why, despite how brutal the conflict was at the time, there hasn't been much lingering tension between humans and Fae since. Things have been fairly harmonious for the past few centuries.
So, the Tsaritsa banished the Fae to protect the Fae living in the city? She offered herself...
Maybe it's not quite as bad as it sounds. I don't think Her Majesty is too concerned if mortals hate her or not. And besides, there are very few who truly do.
All this time?
All right. If Mitia's theory is correct, then I think we can consider this matter settled. Let's all take a break.
Ugh, if only this blasted storm wasn't...
Even though
This is one of the few times...
I was actually...
At least the lingering regret that kept him here has been put to rest.
Well, the information he revealed, it's given me a lot to think about.
now we can just rest until the snowstorm stops. I still can't believe Shram turned out to be a ghost who'd been in the theater for hundreds of years.
Knock, knock.
Hmm?
Knock, knock.
You know the door isn't closed, right? You don't have to knock.
Think of it as a signal, then. When I'm entering someone else's room and I knock, I'm here as Odette. If I don't knock, it's Lelik. Thanks.
So, why did you come to find me? Is there something I can help with?
Vodyanitsa said you knew about my secret identity from the start. But when everyone was discussing who Lelik could be, you were worried that revealing what you knew would be unfair to me, so you kept it to yourself, right? Yes. I'm extremely grateful for that.
It's nothing. I mean, you didn't hold what happened with Senora against me, so I should thank you for that as well.
Actually, there's something else as well. I found myself in a situation similar to the one you were in when you helped conceal my identity. So I thought I'd come and ask you for advice. It's about Mitya. Before all of this, the last time I saw him, he was dead. As I'm sure you know, my goal as Lelik was to stop Project Stuja. Well, when I found out the tech lead for the experiment behind Project Stuja was Mitya, I immediately started planning to track him down and threaten him to back out. I often saw him around the theater, but I soon concluded that making my move there would risk exposing my identity. So I decided to infiltrate the Armory Palace and go directly to his lab. That way, the threat would be much more effective. Well, I suppose there was a bit of luck involved. But I am a Fatus, so I already had some familiarity with the building. But when I finally made it to his lab, Mitya seemed to be dead. I checked his breathing and his pulse. He had no vital signs whatsoever. I'm certain of that. I thought maybe another anti-Project Stuja activist had beaten me to it, and chosen a much more brutal method.
That's why you were so on guard around Mitya that first night here.
Yes. When I saw him sitting in the audience during the performance, I could barely contain the shock. To me, it was a miracle. Somehow, he'd come back from the dead. But then, the murder started happening and things got so complicated that it wasn't really at the front of me. That is, until Mitya himself said there must be a dead person among us. Then I couldn't ignore it any longer.
And yet, you thought that bringing it up right away would single Mitya out. Just like when everyone was suspecting Lelik.
Exactly. I thought there could be something I was missing. Besides, we soon figured out that Mr. Shram was a ghost. And we knew there was only one extra person, so we thought he had to be the one.
But now it seems like there's another candidate. I understand why you kept it to yourself. There was so much information being thrown around during that discussion. Bringing up Mitya would have just introduced...
So, what do you think we should do?
Let me confirm one thing first. When was it that you found...
Around a week ago, sometime in the afternoon.
A week ago? That's earlier than I thought. I saw him just a few days ago at a restaurant. That definitely would have been after you found him dead. He seemed completely normal to me. Chatting with Vodyanitsa, trying to avoid Valer.
So he was definitely alive on that day. Huh. Well, all I can say is...
Here's a thought. The reason we even suspected a dead person could be among us was because of the problem with the theater's ley lines. But Mitya's death happened inside the Armory Palace.
You're right. I guess he doesn't fit the profile of the
I think the chances of it being him are very low. Surely he can't have died for real in the Armory Palace.
Unless what?
Unless he really did come back from the dead.
You're right. Do you think we need to disclose this to the others?
Huh, what's this? A private meet and greet? Where do I line up?
That's not what's going...
Well, I was just making the rounds. Thought I'd try to lighten the mood a bit. Bo, do you need...
What is going on with this storm? Could it be connected to that monster that just arrived in Snezh?
I almost hope it is. Her Majesty the Tsaritsa left to vanquish that beast herself. We just need to wait for her triumphant...
Do you think people still feel the cold after they die? I'm wondering about Shram.
Death itself is cold, isn't it? I'm sure the storm...
Well, I hope he has a safe journey. I'm going to miss him, I think. Thinking back on it, we barely made it out alive ourselves. Once we get out of here, how are we going to explain what happened?
Are you okay?
Look who's Mr. Nice Guy all of a sudden. Is it—
Yeah, without Tonya, who knows how badly he would have been hurt.
I told you already, I never intended to resort...
Bunch of rats. Little girl? I was rather surprised when you spoke up.
Oh, no need to thank me.
I've been, too embarrassed to it. So kind to everyone. But especially when she was little. Every time I took... All right, easy now.
I don't know.
Are you taking anything?
Yeah. I'll be fine once I see my brother. He's gonna pick some frost fairy flower leaves and brew a tonic for me.
I see. That's...
We should probably discuss arrangements for tonight, now that the deceased has left our midst. However, out of an abundance of caution...
Shouldn't we take shifts? I can take one.
No need. I managed to get a nap in earlier, so I have...
What a long day. This whole situation... But Valeri's right. I should just try to calm down.
She's awake. She's awake! Get over here, you big lug, and take a look!
If you must call me something, call me Mr. Door. The Black Mist is coming. You need to go.
Are you all right? Can you walk? We just got attacked by monsters on our way up. He just seemed to come out of nowhere. Not much of a talker, but... Curses! The Black Mist is catching up to us. Mr. Door, I don't believe I've ever seen you around here before. Why is that?
There's no need to try to get to know me. I'm just Mr. Door. I have to find the door that belongs to me.
Oh, well, anyway, we're lucky to have you here. Thanks for saving us earlier. Mr. Door! Trouble! Get rid of them!
I can just push these ones out. No need to thank me. This is where my duty lies.
So we're doing this the hard way. You win this.
Remarkable work, Mr. Door. If I had your muscles, I'd do the same. Are none of these doors the one you're looking for?
No.
Come here closer.
Goodness!
My command.
Encase!
My command.
Impossible. Impossible.
I'm so... Wait, look! There's more monsters down there! Are they coming from within the black mist? No, no! They're gaining on us! Quick, keep... Mr. Door, what are you doing? We need to get out of here!
Found it. This is my door.
What? You mean...
I am a door. This is where my duty lies.
No! You saved us! We can't leave you behind!
You must keep going. A door can only keep things out for so long.
But... Oh, you're right. Let's go! We can't... The black mist isn't moving anymore. Looks like I didn't just imagine all that. Surely I wasn't so scared out of my mind that I hallucinated a door as a human. Oh, okay, good. Getting sleepy?
What time is it? Oh, I guess everyone's still asleep. These past 2 days have been exhausting. Valeri?
Wake up! Everyone needs to wake up!
Just like the last 2 nights. No clear cause of death. I've been a real thorn in your side, haven't I, Mr. Valeri? Now you can rest in peace. But for me, life will be all the duller for not having to run away from you, my friend.
How's Tonya? Is she okay?
I just checked on her, and it doesn't seem like anything serious. She's just exhausted from the past couple of days.
That means Valeri was the only...
If Valeri was awake and keeping watch, it would have been impossible to kill him without waking everyone else up.
This is so frustrating. Why has nothing changed since yesterday?
Actually, one thing has changed. There's only one victim this time, not 2.
No similar cases have... After the deceased, it's a reasonable conclusion. Oh. The number of people who die each night is equivalent to the number of dead among us. That's your theory, right?
Exactly. We identified Mr. Schramm, and the night after he left, the death toll dropped. By that logic, there must be one more dead person left among...
Another one? But there was only one person unaccounted for.
Having an extra person was definitely a cause for alarm, but being one person short isn't nearly as unusual. Someone could have left in the middle of...
One more dead person among us. If Nitya's theory is right, then what Odette told me, it's just... At the time, we had no reason to think that... if only we'd taken it more seriously as a possibility.
I'm sorry. This is my fault. I had information that could have been helpful, but I held back.
I'm partly to blame as well. I was too quick to dismiss Odette's concerns.
What is this about? What have you two been getting up to behind my back?
Sounds like there's some big news you've been keeping from the rest of us. Well, we're all ears. I'm the dead person? Wow, that's certainly news to me.
Odette and I talked about it yesterday, but we thought it just wasn't possible, so we left it at that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. If I'd been there, I probably would have reached the same conclusion. It just sounds too unbelievable. Let me just try and verify this. I just scoured my memories trying to think back to the afternoon Miss Odette mentioned, but I honestly have no recollection of dying. That's where I'm different than Mr. Schramm.
Having seen Mr. Mitya a few days ago myself, I also find it hard to believe he could be the other dead person among us.
Well, if it isn't Mitya, then who? Do we vote on it?
If you don't mind me asking, Traveler, I believe you mentioned that you know Tonya's brother. Had you ever met her before all this?
No, never. Wait, are you saying...
Now just 1 minute. I know where this is going. You can't just randomly point a finger at anyone you want. You're in the hot seat, and all of a sudden you want to divert our suspicions onto somebody else?
Trying to pick a fight, Mr. Chuganov? Whenever you open your mouth, all you do is attack people, and I've had enough of it.
You!
Did Mitya ask about Tonya because he suspects her? I suppose I only identified her by age and nothing else.
I'm just saying, you're going around casting suspicion on people for no reason. How could Tonya... I can vouch for her if nothing else. I've seen her before. She's the sister of that,
Oh, really? You're telling the truth?
Since being here, I don't think I ever mentioned she was Child's sister specifically.
If Chuganov can vouch for her, then it can't be Tonya either. In which case, it seems unlikely that there's another... Miss Odette, could you go over that afternoon with me one more time? When you...
No problem.
No matter how hard I try, I just can't remember anything about dying. Miss Vojanitsa, during our last meal together, I told you how some of the researchers were suffering from temporary memory loss. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. You said it was hindering the progress of your
Right. And even though I don't remember dying that day, I'm pretty sure I experienced something like amnesia. Some of my memories from that afternoon are
Are you suggesting you're missing the memory of your...
Of course. How am I only just realizing this? Humans aren't necessarily aware of their own death.
You mean being silently assassinated, or dying in your sleep?
The researcher's amnesia. Suddenly it all makes sense. I must thank you, Odette. I think your perspective just helped me reach a breakthrough on a series of issues that... All right. It's decided then.
Oh, leave! Hey, wait a minute! Aren't you rushing into this?
Come on, kid. Aren't you gonna fight for your life? This seems like a rash...
I have other reasons beyond what's been discussed. In fact, thinking back, I remember during Miss Odette's performance, while I was sitting in the audience stalls, a brilliant new idea for my research popped into my mind. I can't remember it now at all, and I didn't take any notes. I guess that must be another instance of temporary amnesia.
No. Hold on. I see where you're going with this. You're suggesting that each instance of temporary amnesia there's a glaringly obvious flaw in that idea, no? How can one person die so many...
I believe Miss Odette's account. During the period where my memory is blank, I must have been either dead or in a similar state. All it would take is for the same thing to happen in the theater, and I would come under the effect of the ley lines in this vicinity. This increases the likelihood of me being the deceased, does it not?
But...
There's no evidence to suggest that anyone other than me is a candidate for the deceased. So please relax, everyone. I don't think things are as bad as they may seem. If I really am the deceased, then to leave the theater will be a relief for me. If, on the other hand, I'm still alive right now, well, Apparently you've all witnessed my resurrection recently anyway. Who's to say I won't return from the dead again this time?
Michi's right. This is the only thing we can try right now.
What is a scientist if not someone who gambles on experiment after experiment in an attempt to obtain the truth? With this snowstorm, the ley line phenomenon, ghosts of the dead, and my amnesia, we've been paralyzed by not knowing. But if I do get resurrected, you can be sure that I'll come back with the truth of all this. Just you wait.
Poor Mr. Micha. Maybe it's a good thing that you weren't there to see it. It was a hard thing.
I hate goodbyes. Why does it feel like...
Maybe it's the realization that, come to think of it, the main reason we're still alive right now is you could take it a step further and say that the same is true outside too. If I make it out of here, I'm going to cherish
Without regret, I feel like a strange sense of anxiety has been quietly growing inside me over the...
Are you okay? If something's bugging you, let's talk about it. There's only a few of us.
I have a travel companion named Paimon. Alosha and Odette have met her before.
You're worried about her, aren't you? That makes sense.
To be honest, I used to feel like I was just a spectator in this world, watching everything that happens from the sidelines.
A descender.
But with Paimon by my side, over time, I slowly felt my connection to this world growing stronger. She loves eating, sleeping, and having fun, but she's also a great guide. It's her authenticity that makes this whole world. Over the last few days that we've been apart, I've often caught myself wondering, what would Paimon say? But by the time I snap out of it, the conversation has already moved on and I'm still in my own little world. I'm trying to overcome this sense of detachment, but I really miss Paimon. I guess.
I bet she misses you when you're not there as well. Maybe you're her entire world too. I don't know if this will make you feel any better, but back when the water imps left Snezhnograd in droves, I also felt I could be surrounded by people all smiling and having fun, and still feel completely separate. Later on, I started to think, maybe accepting the fact that our loved ones won't always be with us. All we can do is cherish their companionship from moment to... So, once we get out of here, you better hurry back to our side as fast as you can.
Thank you.
But Vorianitsa, if you hate goodbyes too, that's just the choice I made. I used to regret it, but I don't. Like I said before, singing is a water imp's primary mode of expression. Our songs have echoed through this theater for hundreds of years, each one a story pieced together through moments. But does a story exist without someone to read it? To me. So I made the choice to stay. That way, there would Could you teach me how to understand your people's songs sometime? A fan after my own heart. Okay. I've never heard that one before. I feel like I can hear a sense of longing, some... Color me impressed, Tonya. You're a keen listener. Most people can only tell if a song is happy or sad. I didn't think you'd be able to pick... So, what's... I've actually never performed this song in the theater before. Because it has more of a ceremony. It means something like, May those we have lost watch over us, and follow this song back home in the night, so that we might be reunited once more.
No wonder I could hear that sense of longing. You sing it for loved ones who have passed away.
It's getting late, Tonya, and you're not well. We should all turn in early.
Okay. But, before—
Of course! Anything for my number one—
Once I get out of here, I definitely don't plan, but I guess that means I'll never get to hear Vodianitsa sing again. Before I fall asleep, I should cherish this moment of companionship while... Where... so dark. What was...
Return, O spirits! Fulfill your oath of protection!
I'm alive? What just happened?
No time for questions. Quick, over here. Turn on the switch. We need to bring... All right, we're safe. The spirit just now is called Night Prayer. The light subdues her, but she'll attack without a second thought in the dark. Sort of. I know it's hard, but you can't let this place go dark, or she'll kill you again. Yep. Luckily, I was here to resurrect you. Otherwise, that'd have been a real bummer.
A bit more than a bummer, I'd say.
Sure I do. I'm your guardian spirit, after all. I specialize in soul recall. Oh, it's nice to meet you, by the way.
Oh.
All right, there's no time to waste. The black mist is already catching up. We need to reach the next switch before the place gets too dark. If we bring the light back, Night Prayer won't be able to get to us. Sweet, sweet light! It's back! Shh! It's Night Prayer. We need to move quick, but don't let her notice you. Look out! Which is over there. ahead! Hurry! It's too dark. We're not gonna make it! Traveler! I won't let you die like this. Not...
Even though it's not... Dying is definitely not a pleasant experience.
Great. You're back.
Yeah, thanks to you.
Time for you to get out of here. Quick, before the light runs.
What about you? You're not coming with me?
I can't. I've already been used up. A guardian spirit's skills are finite. I can only resurrect someone's... I might not look any different, but my essence has been exhausted. Now, I can go no further. The Black Mist is where I belong.
Why didn't you tell me sooner?
Because it wouldn't have changed anything. That now... Go. Now, before... What do you need, sir?
Well, I guess there's no need to inspect the...
This wasn't supposed to happen. You lied to us, didn't you, Chuganov?
Take a long, hard look at your... I suspected you on day one, Lelik, and now look where we are. By some... And you, little hunter, ever so content with staying on the sidelines. Yet, you were the one who stopped us from leaving...
Now you're just lashing out indiscriminately. Where was all this passion and bravado before? Decided to fight until the bitter...
Is that a threat? Fine, bring it on! You think I'm afraid to...
After all the trauma of the past few days, Valeria and Mitya aren't here anymore. But first, I need to think this through. Of those who remain, the people are easily... But Mr. Chuganov vouched for Tonya's identity yesterday. Tonya, how's Tusser been lately?
Tusser?
Your brother Ajax must have mentioned me in his letters home, right? Did he say anything about a blonde traveler?
No. And my brother's name is Razik.
Chuganov, looks like it's your turn to do some explaining. Yesterday...
I knew you were behind this, Chuganov. You've been lying through your teeth. Everything about you is fake. Down to the wife and daughter you're always... That night, when I infiltrated your place as Lelik, I noticed you were home alone. Didn't think much of it at the time, but thinking back on it now, that doesn't seem very likely.
Even that was a lie?
Curses! Oh, why is there no end to this?
I think I remember now. The reason I'm always coughing is because I got sick with frostbite. The locals usually call it the snow cough. It's not a very common illness. It's partly genetic and partly caused by the cold climate. After a while, I felt myself growing weaker. So one day, I told my brother that I wanted him to take me outside for once, so things could be like they... He agreed. He snuck me out of the hospital, and we got to the theater, bought tickets, and went inside.
Oh.
When I woke up, I couldn't find him, but there's no way he'd leave me behind. So I decided to stay here and wait for him. Tonya, It sounds like by then...
Yeah, I know. I understand now. After all of that, it turns out I can't blame my brother after. I'm sorry, everyone. I realized this much too late. It seems like death skewed my perception.
Your name probably isn't even Tonya, is it? Didn't that ever strike you as odd over the last...
Well, when I was little, my brother and I read a storybook, and Tonya is the name of one of the characters. When we escaped from the hospital, our family in the hospital secured. So when you first approached me and said my brother had sent you, and called me Tonya, I thought he must have chosen a fake name that only the two of us would know. Because he was afraid of getting caught.
At least your memory of death isn't painful. That is a small comfort. Now it's your turn, Chuganov. Talk to us. I believe no...
You're right. I was lying. I happen to know that the Harbinger child and his sister Tonya managed to get tickets. And yes, the truth of the matter is, I lost them a long time ago. My daughter's name was Iskra. And before you ask, yes, she also died from the snow cough. She was just 6 years old. After Iskra passed, my wife couldn't bear to face those memories. One day when I came home from work and saw the empty room, I soon discovered that this was the only thing.
Nothing more than a pathetic means of escapism, I know. So explain your false testimony then.
The night before last, when I was chatting with Tonya, she mentioned that her brother would brew medicine for her from frost fairy flower leaf. Combined with her various symptoms, I suddenly understood everything, including the fact the snow cough used to be an incurable illness. I would pick frost fairy flower leaves to brew medicine for Iskra too. But the year after my daughter passed away, the jester of the Fatui announced that a cure for frost blight, also known as the snow cough, it turned out that all previous treatments were completely ineffective. No better than random concoctions. That was the final straw for me. I just couldn't take it anymore. So, more than anyone, I know full well that in this day and age, no one in their right mind would still be. Poor Miss Tonya, therefore, had to have been from an era when snow cough was still a terminal illness.
So, you projected your daughter onto her? Even though you knew she was one of the dead?
That doesn't make any sense. You knew she was already dead. What did you—
I just don't believe in your crackpot theories. How can you just declare a living person dead and throw them out into that— Nitya's gone. My good buddy Shram's gone. And now, the others I can make my peace with. But little Miss Tonya, here she is, standing right in— I just want her to live. Once this snowstorm is over, the very moment it stops, I'm going to march out. I'll be damned if I'm gonna let you cast her out into the snowstorm before— Not again! Not this time!
Mr. Chuganov, stop. By the sounds of it, you've known I was dead since the night before last, right? I really liked Mr. Valeri, Mr. Mitya, and Miss Vodoyanitsa. And no, I'm not happy about that. The reality is, you've been trying to fight your own demons through me. But I'll—
No! Listen to me.
Well, at this point, I'm quite sure that I'm dead. I don't need to be saved. The time I got, despite all the bad things that kept happening, I got to meet so many interesting people. And since the day I escaped that hospital until now, I'm very fond of you all. If it were only pop. And that's why I'm not fond of you at all, Mr. Chuganov. It's them that you owe an apology to, sir. Not me. Well then, I suppose this is it.
You're leaving already? It's still early.
No thank you. My name is Patashka. It was nice meeting you all.
Feels strange that we're only being properly introduced.
Tashka?
What are you doing, Chuganov? Are you crazy?
Let me leave.
In your dreams. Don't think you're getting off that easy when you had a hand in the deaths of so many people. The Fatui have honed quite an array of enhanced interrogation techniques since they were founded. Once... I think we should leave. I doubt this snowstorm is ever going to stop. For all we know, this storm might have destroyed all of Snezhnaya by now. Maybe even the whole world.
Wait, we finally solved the mystery of the haunted theater today.
Fair enough. I don't...
And yet you won't let me die first.
Hey, Chuganov, on a serious note, if we do make it out of here, you should close down that factory.
Is this really the time to be discussing my fact? All right, fine. I'll shut it down.
Am I hearing things? Or was that... There it is again. But I don't understand. The snowstorm hasn't stopped.
Should we open the door?
Is this it? If the last few days are anything to go by, I probably... Whatever lies beyond that door at this moment.
Hey everyone, I'm back.
How are you doing? Feeling any better?
Much better, thanks. Whew, it is so good to have you guys here. I was a little worried that the theater... Let me see. Tonya and Vodyanitsa are missing, which means Vodyanitsa died last night. And then you discovered that Tonya was the other dead person.
Not Tonya. Petashka.
First, tell us how you made it back here. Given the conditions outside, no one should be able to return alive.
You're right. The thing that got me back safely was... a song. I heard someone singing. After walking into the snowstorm, my mind grew hazy. I don't know how long I walked through the storm before my mind completely slipped away. Then, suddenly, I heard the sound of singing. The voice instantly brought me back to my senses, and I regained consciousness. So I followed the voice, searching for the source of the singing. I searched and searched, until finally, just a few moments ago...
I've actually never performed this song in the theater before. Because it has more of a ceremonial purpose, it means something like... May those we have lost watch over us, and follow this song back home in the night, so that we might...
That must have been Vodyanitsa's Requiem. Who knew it actually worked?
That song is meant to guide the souls of the dead. Mitya, that must mean that you...
Huh. No kidding. Huh, seemed like I guessed right then. This is what I've been so desperate to tell you about. When I first stepped out of the theater, I was still quite lucid. My memory of it is still pretty intact. I remember the outside world being completely different than what I'd expected. It was like this was a world where only the snowstorm existed. There wasn't a trace of any humans, or I don't know how else to describe it, except to say that it just didn't seem like the real world. And as for the Requiem, if I was guided here by Vodyanitsa's song, it can only mean that I must already be dead. And this is my soul, not my body. But I didn't experience a clear moment of death while I was out there. Nor do I feel any different now than before I walked into the snowstorm.
You don't seem any different to me either. In fact, this is something I've been wondering about for a while now. Both Shram and Patoshka were clearly deceased, and yet their souls didn't look or feel like ghosts at all. They were visible.
This raises a truly terrible thought. Is that really what Mitya is suggesting? Mitya's soul was summoned back by the Requiem. Of course, if even the long-deceased like Mr. Shram can blend in with us undetected, then maybe we've all been dead from the very start. And
Yes. I think that this is probably the afterlife.
What did you say?
You heard me. We died in the theater. All of us did. But due to an obstruction in the theater's ley lines, our souls are trapped here, while an endless, infinite snowstorm rages outside. It's ironic, really. All that time, we were working so hard to figure out who the deceased among us were, when the truth was, we were all deceased. The only difference being some of us died more recently than others. Do you remember that note, "Death is near"? Seems like we misunderstood what it meant after all. Death was nearer than we wanted to think all along. The note simply meant that all of us were already dead.
So all our attempts to survive, our search for the deceased...
Hard to say. At the very least, we helped 2 lost souls find clarity and go to where they belong. The presence of those 2 is probably what caused our souls to be drawn in by the ley lines. In which case, the deaths we've awoken to over the past few days were just souls returning to the ley lines for good.
If what you're saying is true, doesn't that make us the lost souls now? Huh, no wonder. This afternoon, when I was moving Vodyanitsa's body, I noticed that the other bodies in the room hadn't decayed one bit after all.
That's further proof that those aren't physical bodies at all, but merely our shells here in the afterlife.
am I really dead? This doesn't feel real to me at all. No, that's impossible. This cannot be how it all ends.
I still hard to believe that all of us are dead. How exactly did we die in the real world? None of us have any memories of dying, right?
Not even knowing how we died is preposterous. Good grief!
Exactly. It's hard to rest in peace when you don't even know how you died. It gave me lots to think about as I strode out into the snowstorm. I racked my brains trying to remember the cause of my death, the exact moment I died, the root of all of this, right up until my consciousness. Wait. Hold on. Right before I lost consciousness, I think I saw something. I can't remember.
Mitya, your hand. Is that blood on your fingers?
Huh? You're right. There's blood on the fingertips of my right hand. Looks like it's already dried. When did that happen? What the? I guess this was what I saw. I must have desperately drawn it in my own blood right before losing consciousness. What's wrong? Do you recognize the symbol?
It's Renova, the ruler of death. Alosha, do you still remember that Snezhnayan folktale you told me about? It was about the Grim Reaper. When someone's about to die, he appears as an incarnation of someone familiar, and as soon as you recognize his face, your life is over.
I heard a similar tale when I was little. You think the Grim Reaper in this story refers to the ruler?
That's right. In which case, death is near could also mean that the Grim Reaper is...
Death, the deceased, and the Grim... When I first saw this note, I thought it contradicted the investigation report. It seems like that was the whole...
So the Grim Reaper deliberately misled us. Then, We started suspecting each other and searched for the
By that logic, the one person most likely to be the Grim Reaper incarnate is... Identifying the Grim Reaper is a major decision to make. I should think it over carefully. No doubt about it. It's Alosha. Looking back at how everyone has acted over the past few days, Alosha is most likely the Grim Reaper lurking among us. Is it you, Alosha? You were the first to discover the investigation report, and you had plenty of time to slip the note inside to mislead us.
So? Surely you can't suspect me based on that alone. What if someone else found the investigation report, slipped the note inside?
There's no denying it. The note could easily have been slipped in much...
That's not all. I've also noticed that, although on the surface, Valeri, Mitya, and sometimes I were the ones taking charge of the situation. Looking back now, even though you didn't say much, you were always subtly guiding everyone from the sidelines.
What do you mean?
You were the one who emphasized how dangerous it was outside and insisted we all stay here. It was also you who insisted that we all sleep in the same place. And earlier today, you tried to convince Patoshka to stay. I don't understand why, but it was out of character.
So, you didn't understand my intentions, and now you're assuming the worst.
He still won't admit it? Fine. Let's see how he responds to the most damning evidence of all.
The biggest question I have right now is, if the Grim Reaper is impersonating Alosha, then where's the real Alosha?
No. The ruler of death would have needed to control how everything unfolded from... That's right. This was the moment. Right at the start, before any victims had even emerged, Alosha was switched with the... When all this began, right after the performance ended and the snowstorm began to pick up, no one suspected